Imagine evolution handed every animal a toolbox. Cheetahs got turbo legs. Eagles got flying knives. Elephants got memory, muscle, and emotional depth. Dolphins got sonar, teamwork, and suspiciously good smiles. Octopuses got 8 arms and the attitude of a tiny ocean wizard. Crows got problem-solving skills and a lifelong obsession with shiny objects. And humans? We got soft skin, weak jaws, no claws, terrible baby survival, and the confidence to invent taxes. Somehow, this ridiculous ape built cities. We wrote laws. We cured diseases. We launched machines beyond the atmosphere. And then we used the internet to argue about pineapple on pizza. So here is the real mystery. Why us? Why not dolphins with underwater skyscrapers? Why not elephants with 1,000-year empires and excellent record-keeping? Why not crows running tiny parliaments over stolen bottle caps? The answer is not that humans were destined to win. The answer is stranger, messier, and much funnier. Civilization happened because one animal received a bizarre evolutionary combo pack. Not the best body. Not the biggest brain in every way. Not the sharpest teeth. Just the right accidents, stacked in the right order. Hands, fire, language, cooperation, and a dangerous habit of asking, what if we hit this rock with another rock? To understand that combo, we first need to break a very old myth. Evolution is not a ladder. It is not a progress bar loading toward humanity. It is not a video game where every creature is trying to unlock human mode. Evolution is more like a chaotic family tree drawn by lightning. Branches split. Branches twist. Some branches flourish. Some branches vanish. And none of them come with a crown. A dolphin is not a failed human. A cheetah is not waiting for a business degree. An elephant is not behind schedule on inventing democracy. Every creature alive today is a survivor of its own world. A shark is a masterpiece of water and teeth. A bee is a masterpiece of teamwork and tiny violence. A sloth is a masterpiece of doing almost nothing and somehow making it work. Nature does not prefer intelligence. Nature prefers whatever keeps you alive long enough to reproduce. Sometimes that is speed. Sometimes that is armor. Sometimes that is venom. Sometimes that is pretending to be a leaf. For our ancestors, it eventually became intelligence. But intelligence alone was not enough. It needed a body that could use it. And that body began in the trees. Millions of years ago, our primate ancestors lived high above the ground. Their world was branches, gaps, fruit, danger, and very bad fall damage. If you missed a branch, evolution did not offer a refund. So primates evolved forward-facing eyes. Those eyes help judge distance. In the treetops, depth perception is not a luxury. It is the difference between lunch and becoming gravity's example. Primates also evolved grasping hands. Fingers wrapped around branches. Thumbs pressed against fingers. Grip became survival. These hands were not designed to write poetry. They were not designed to build rockets. They were designed to keep small, furry ancestors from falling out of trees. But evolution loves recycling old parts. The hand that grabbed branches would one day grab stones. The fingers that held fruit would one day hold tools. And the thumb that saved our ancestors from falling would eventually help us open snack bags at 2 a.m. For millions of years, tree life shaped the primate body. Then the world below began to change. In parts of Africa, climate and geography shifted over long periods of time. Forests became patchier. Woodlands, grasslands, and open spaces spread in complicated mosaics. This was not one dramatic scene where every tree suddenly packed its bags. It was slower, messier, and more evolutionary. Some ape-like ancestors began spending more time on the ground. The ground was useful. The ground was dangerous. The ground also had predators who were extremely committed to their jobs. Walking upright may have helped in several ways. It may have helped our ancestors see over vegetation. It may have helped them carry food. It may have helped them reach, travel, cool down, and move efficiently. Bipedalism was not born from one magic reason. It was likely shaped by many pressures over a long time. But once walking on 2 legs became useful, something enormous happened. The hands were freed. Free hands could carry food. Free hands could carry babies. Free hands could hold sticks. Free hands could throw stones at problems until the problems left. Throwing looks simple. It is not. Accurate throwing connects eyes, shoulders, hands, timing, balance, planning, and nerve. A vulnerable animal that can throw, carry, plan, and cooperate becomes much less helpless. Then came toolmaking. Stone tools turned the hand into an external claw. We were not born with fangs. We made sharp edges. We were not born with knives. We invented them, because apparently nature forgot to include accessories. Hands, tools, and brains began pushing each other forward. Better hands made better tools. Better tools opened new foods. New foods and new problems favored better planning. Better planning rewarded bigger, more flexible brains. It became a feedback loop. And feedback loops are how evolution accidentally builds monsters. But brains are expensive. A big brain is not free software. It is a hungry, demanding, high-maintenance organ. The human brain uses a huge share of the body's energy. So if you want a bigger brain, you need better fuel. One major breakthrough may have been cooking. Control of fire changed the human story. Cooked food is easier to chew. It is often easier to digest. Some scientists argue that cooking helped free more energy for larger brains. Fire also pushed back the darkness. It kept predators at a respectful distance. It gathered people into circles. It gave us warm food, safer nights, and the first prehistoric group chat. Around fire, people could share warnings. They could share memories. They could share stories. And eventually, one person could say, "Do not eat that berry," saving everyone a very dramatic afternoon. Fire was not just heat. Fire was infrastructure. So why did other animals not follow the same path? Start with the cheetah. The cheetah is basically a sports car with fur. It solves survival with speed. Its body is built for explosive pursuit. When you already run like a biological missile, you do not urgently need a stone axe. Evolution does not pay for traits you do not need today. A larger brain costs energy every day. For a cheetah, more muscle may matter more than abstract strategy. Lions have teeth. Eagles have talons. Wolves have pack hunting. Their bodies solve many problems directly. Our bodies were embarrassingly under-equipped. We had no claws, no armor, no wings, no respectable sprint speed. We were the animal version of some assembly required. That weakness made tools valuable. Our bodies forced us to solve problems indirectly. That made intelligence worth the energy bill. But intelligence still needs the right environment. Consider dolphins. Dolphins are brilliant animals. They communicate, cooperate, learn socially, and some even use tools. But dolphins live in water. Water is beautiful. Water is powerful. Water is also extremely rude to fire. You cannot build a campfire underwater. You cannot smelt metal underwater. You cannot have a Bronze Age if your furnace keeps becoming soup. Dolphin intelligence is real, but the ocean blocks the fire-based path humans took. Flippers also cannot grip like fingers. A dolphin could be a genius and still struggle to build a toaster. Not because dolphins are inferior, because their world leads somewhere else. Now look at elephants. Elephants remember, mourn, cooperate, and care deeply for one another. Their trunks are powerful and precise. But elephants are giants. A giant body needs a giant food supply. They reproduce slowly and invest heavily in each calf. They have intelligence, but not the same hand-fire language feedback loop. Elephants became masters of memory, family, and landscape. They did not need to become tiny engineers with hard hats. Crows took another path. Crows are problem solvers with wings and attitude. But wings are not hands. Octopuses are brilliant manipulators. But most live lives that do not build long-lasting cultural networks like humans do. This brings us to the real human superpower. It was not just intelligence. It was shared intelligence. Language let us move information from one mind to another. We could warn. We could teach. We could gossip, which sounds silly until it tells you who steals food and who lies about seeing a tiger. Many animals cooperate brilliantly, but humans scale cooperation among strangers better than any other species. Shared stories turned strangers into tribes, tribes into cities, and cities into civilizations. We are not the chosen winners of evolution. We are one strange branch that learned to connect brains. The real question is not why we became special. It is whether we can stay wise enough to survive our own success.